Hello again, crafters. Today we're focusing on a passage from Jeremiah chapter 31, where the prophet gives some joyful and hopeful promises of restoration for the people of Israel. There would be reunion, rejoicing, there would be dancing, mourning would be turned into gladness, and God would remember them and be with them always. Now, prophets are not always necessarily the most exciting storylines for us, and maybe therefore we think, oh, they don't make the best crafts or lessons, but they're very important and meaningful, powerful truths that we can take from these Old Testament passages as well. And today's crafts, we're going to make two puppets of a sort. They both have to do with this joyous aspect. So the first one we're going to do is a dancing paper bag puppet. So this is going to be focusing on the part of the passage that discusses how women will rejoice and dance and be happy about the way that God is bringing the people back. And so I'm going to make a paper bag puppet that will have some appendages, some arms and legs that are going to show that joyful aspect. Now, if you want to get creative with this, you could make it some sort of an animal. It doesn't have to be a person, but we're going to do it sort of like a person to go with that passage and talking about these women who are dancing. So I'm going to start off by making I'm going to start with my arms and legs, and I'll just kind of cut those out of paper. I'll sort of draw them out first so they're not completely crazy. And let's say my person's going to be wearing some sandals of sorts. There we go. And here's the hands. Obviously, I'm not the greatest drawer of hands, and this is not going to be entirely proportional to scale, but that's okay. It will be joyful. It will be just fine. So, there we go. Now, these are going to get attached on to the paper bag to make it a little more dimensional and just really communicate that this puppet is very happy. She's dancing, she's leaping, she's joyful. Now another option, which I'm not going to do for this paper bag because it's going to be a little more featured element in the second craft, but another option you could do is you could make this a double-sided paper bag puppet, and you could have one side seem a little bit sadder, and the other side could be very happy and rejoicing, and that could sort of communicate that element of how God turns our sadness into gladness. But again, that's going to be more featured in the second one, so we're not going to do that right now. Now, I'm going to draw on a face. Of course, if you have like googly eyes or other paper elements, you could use those. At the moment, I'm just going to draw on my face, but of course we want this to be very, very happy, so I'm going to kind of make this like, almost like it's going to be sort of an open mouth. So the smile, I'm going to lift that flap, and the smile will even continue here. Maybe kind of be like a singing, happy singing, rejoicing person. Yay! Very, 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 very happy, because we want to emphasize that happy element. And now I'm going to add on some other features. I'll give this person some hair. Or, again, you could do like yarn hair or paper. You could use cloth. You could get very creative. As elaborate as you want, as elaborate as time allows. Obviously, I'm not going super, super elaborate right now because we don't have all day to watch me draw things. But here we go. I'm going to kind of draw like this person is wearing maybe like a robe. And I'll just have that sort of go down this way. That way, when I put on my arms and legs, they don't get double the arms and legs, if you understand what I'm doing here. So, color that in, and again, make this really fun and fancy and special and beautiful, I'm going to add on a couple of little stickers here just for fun and decoration. That, of course, is not necessary, but I mean, I doubt that people really had stickers on their robes back then, but I'm just kind of making it a little more festive here. And now I'm going to add, you could write this directly on the bag, or, since clearly I'm out of room, I'm going to add a little caption to the side here that I can glue or tape on. And I'm going to say something like, rejoice, God restores, dance with gladness, something like that. And then I'll put the reference to the passage here. We're looking at Jeremiah 31, specifically verses 7 to 14. And now I don't need any extra popsicle sticks or anything for this because I've got this is a paper bag puppet, so my hand will serve as the puppet tool. But I am going to go ahead and glue on those happy little arms and legs. And then we'll be all set and move on to craft number 2. Now, both of these crafts today are relatively simple, not overly complex, not too many extra parts to them. Sometimes that's great. Sometimes it's fun to have really elaborate things, and sometimes it's fun to go simple. So you can attach that however you like. And now we have our happy, dancing, and rejoicing, la 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 la, singing paper bag puppet. So that is craft number 1. Craft number 2, we're going to make a sadness into gladness mask. I'm going to use a paper plate for this one. And on one side of the paper plate, we're going to make a sad face. So this can be something the kids can kind of draw their own face, say, what do you look like when you're sad? So here's sad eyes. The eyes are closed. Maybe there's even some tears. And we're going to caption this. Again, you could use an extra piece of paper, or you could write directly on the plate. I'm going to say, sometimes I feel sad. And then you could have kids also even write like, okay, what makes you feel sad? And you could come up with some examples. I could attach that here too. Sadness, maybe things like a friend moves away, or a pet dies, that would be very sad, or you forget your lunchbox. Those could be brainstorm ideas of things that would make you feel sad. And then, on the other side, we're going to flip this around, and you can probably guess what's going to happen. We're going to have the happy side. So here's the sadness side. Now, flipping the plate, now we're going to focus on the gladness. Yay! So, eyes are wide open. Again, if you want to use like a googly eye, you're welcome to. We're just going to draw this on here. And we're going to have a nice smile. And let's say, God gives me joy. And put our reference here again. And we can also flip over that paper of examples and put some things that would make us feel joyful, especially things that come from the Lord that make us feel joyful. So we'll say, gladness, we can say Jesus saves, and other things that make us happy, like ice cream, sunshine, family. Now that part can get attached kind of to the side of the plate so that it flips along with the plate. And in this case, since it is kind of a mask, I'm going to also add a little popsicle stick there so that I can flip this back and forth. And maybe we'll add on a few more stickers, especially to the happy side here. Yay, happy stickers, because we're happy. And now we have two crafts with kind of this joy versus sadness element. We have our dancing, rejoicing paper bag puppet, la 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 la, dancy, dancy, dance. And we have our sadness into gladness mask. So, a couple of crafts again to emphasize this element that God is capable of transforming our whole lives, our emotions, all of who we are. We don't do it on our own, but with His strength, anything is possible. Hopefully, some good inspiration to help you share this wonderful message with your audience and with your ministry, wherever and with whomever that might be. Now, go make some crafts, make some disciples, have a great week, and we'll see you next time.